MLF Pro Brent Chapman here. I want to take a quick second and just talk a general fishing tip. So many times I see people get out there on the water and they get really hung up on a particular lure, or they're not catching them on their favorite lure, and they think that the fishing's no good. You know, what I've seen more often than not is probably, it's not necessarily the lure that's the problem, it's probably where you're fishing. You know, especially the bigger the body of water, the harder it is to find fish. So the biggest key is finding an area that has a lot of fish in it. Once you do that, then break it down and find the best lure. Because typically if you get around an area where there's fish, there's a variety of lures that will catch them. So once you get in an area and catch a fish, then you want to start you know, experimenting with different techniques. So just something to think about and give it a try next time you're out on the water. You know, if your favorite lure is not working, it might be you know, something as simple as changing spots. But you know, I always tell people too, it can be overwhelming when you come to a big body of water. You know, how do you break it down? Well, obviously we as humans, we're you know, we're naturally attracted to visual cover. So I think even in MLF, why you see us typically fishing shallow visible cover, because that's the easiest for us to process. You know, when you start getting out offshore, it involves a lot more idling around and a lot more time to find out where those fish are, because you have to find that particular cover under the water that will even hold fish. So for me, when I come to a new body of water or have trouble finding fish, I'm going to go to the visible cover, whether it's the bank or the, you know, the shoreline or something visible that I can then break down and hopefully find out where those fish are positioned at. You know, so if you are struggling, typically head to some visible cover. That's going to give you a good starting point, and you know, you can usually break it down, you know, from vegetation to wood to rock or something. It's pretty easy to see that stuff, and you know, if it looks good, try it. And once you catch a fish or two, pay attention to where that fish came from, you know, and figure out, you know, did it come off of vegetation? Did it come off of something, you know, hard wood or docks, or, you know, and even pay attention to the sonar of what was down below, because you know, all that's going to clue you into figuring out that winning pattern.